Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help with information about a man who has gone missing from Yucca Valley. On July 3rd, at about 7:30 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a missing person report in Yucca Valley. The missing person was identified as Daniel Joslin. Deputies were told he had not been seen or contacted by family or friends for about 10 days. Investigators received information Joslin might have intended to travel to Oregon, but no evidence has been found to confirm he traveled there, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Joslin is described as a 61-year-old white male from Yucca Valley. He is about 6 foot 2 inches and weighs approximately 260 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. Joslin was last in contact with his family and friends on June 26th. You can find photos of Daniel Joslin on our website, Z107.7 FM.com. Anyone with information related to this case is asked to contact the Morongo Basin Station at 760-366-4175. Callers wishing to remain anonymous should call WeTip at 1-844-909-3006. A man was arrested after allegedly crashing and abandoning a Tesla in Pioneertown while fleeing a reported incident of domestic battery. On Saturday night at around 11 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call from a parking lot in Pioneertown. According to deputies, an employee at a local business called law enforcement after Ira Washburn, 40, allegedly grabbed a female victim by her neck in an effort to force her into the vehicle. Deputies say that the incident took place in the parking lot in Pioneertown, after which Washburn fled the scene. Deputies say it is unknown whether the victim received medical treatment. At around 11:25 p.m., the California Highway Patrol responded to a report of a collision near the intersection of Pioneertown Road and Skyline Ranch Road in Pioneertown. According to preliminary information released by the California Highway Patrol, they found a abandoned white Tesla that had apparently struck a guardrail. The information indicates that CHP officers contacted the Sheriff's Department to inquire where they could find the suspect. Deputies say that Washburn was contacted at a vacation rental in the 62,200 block of Cummins Way in Joshua Tree. The CHP indicates that at approximately 12:35 a.m., Washburn allegedly refused to exit the home. He was taken into custody around 20 minutes later, just before 1 a.m. Ira Washburn was arrested for investigation into 1 count of domestic battery and 2 counts of driving under the influence of alcohol. He is currently being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $25,000 bail. Last night, the 29 Palms City Council met for nearly 3 hours to discuss city projects, mandatory grease traps, and possible grants. Reporter Heather Clisby was there.
The 29 Palms City Council met last night for a spirited display of civil discourse around finances, fire codes, the downtown sewer, and grant applications. City engineer Richard Peterson provided detailed updates on several city improvements. Councilmember April Ramirez pulled 2 elements from the consent calendar for a separate discussion: the treasurer's report for Q4 and the 5-year fiscal plan. However, her pointed questions went largely unanswered as the city's finance director was not present. In the first of 4 public hearings, a lighting and landscape assessment for District 1 was swiftly approved before moving on to a fire code update. Notable updates include increased penalties for the transportation and storage of dangerous fireworks from $1,250 to a maximum penalty of $15,000. After a 19-month battle between residents and the developer, council voted to cancel the Ofland Resort project with a formal rescission. With Daniel Mintz abstaining, council then discussed regulations for the downtown sewer in the Freedom Plaza area. Hookups should be done by mid-September, but the implementation of a regulated fog program concerning the dispensing of fats, oils, and grease is a required action as per related grants. Councilmember Ramirez found the proposed ordinance too vague and seemingly unfair to local business owners. It was decided that city staff and the city attorney would clarify the language, include a fee schedule, and resubmit to council at a later date. The evening's final agenda item concerned a Community Resilience Center grant that would have repurposed the former Rite Aid building into a cooling center, an emergency shelter, and resource hub. After much spirited discussion, council members reached a fatal stalemate, with 2 voting in favor, 2 voting against, and 1 abstaining. Issues included confusion around the grant itself, which seemed to require an accompanying design grant, partnering with the Hope Center, and perceptions of church and state conflict, noting that the Senior Center and the Freedom Plaza Gym could already serve as disaster refugee shelters, confusion about Red Cross involvement, and finally, the fast-approaching deadline of September 25th. To watch the full meeting on demand, look for the link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. The next meeting of the 29 Palm City Council will be held on Tuesday, August 25th. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission met in regular session last night, where they discussed the further enforcement of the outdoor lighting and night sky ordinance in the wake of Yucca Valley's increasing growth. Reporter Gabriel Hart has more.
The Planning Commission focused on 2 standards of the outdoor lighting and night sky ordinance: fully shielded, which states any outdoor lighting fixtures must not direct light onto adjacent property, and light trespass, which prohibits nuisance glare from any lighting onto neighboring property that interferes with viewing of the night sky. During public comment, MDLT volunteer Diane Hartle spoke in passionate defense of dark skies with emphasis on animal navigation and human sleep patterns, concurring with the ordinance's standards of downward-facing lights and low wattage. Commissioner Vasconcelos agreed that there should be some level of enforcing the ordinance, but was wary about new residents complaining.
At the same time, I don't want to see it get to be the point where I see people moving to our community and they don't like the lighting of their neighbors' lights, and then they report them because they're saying their lights are too bright, and those lights have been the same lights that have been there for 30 years.
Commissioner Stoker spoke in agreement of more enforcement, emphasizing a reduction of light must follow the increasing growth of Yucca Valley as more homes and businesses are built, suggesting no more than 3,000 Kelvin standard like Aldi and Chipotle uses.
Preserve what we have. Right. I think as we grow, if we were to stay exactly the same way we are right now, we would start to see our sky get brighter and brighter as we grow and add more homes or more businesses in town. And I think this is our opportunity to make sure that as we grow, we kind of keep this where we are with our light canopy. And if we can help to reduce that light canopy as businesses replace some of their parking lot lights or things that are burning very blue or extremely white light right now.
Chair Thomas explicitly stated he wanted the outdoor lighting and night sky ordinance clearly enforced.
All these things are really great, but if we don't enforce it, then it's just empty words as far as I'm concerned. So we have to make sure that we have a good component to enforce these things on a timely schedule. So when we do get complaints, and I'm speaking, probably most of the complaints will come from commercial divisions, especially up and down the highway. So I'd like to see something that we discuss between council and the planning commission as how are we going to implement this stuff and how are we going to enforce it.
While no action was taken, the board voted 4-0 to receive and file the report for further discussion. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
And finally, the California Department of Transportation announced road closures on 29 Palms Highway in Morongo Valley today. They said to expect maintenance crews conducting a drainage cleaning operation on State Route 62, known locally as 29 Palms Highway. The operation will require a closure of the highway's eastbound number 2 lane from Valley View Road to Hess Boulevard between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Crews will be cleaning drains and removing debris within the work zone. Reduce your speed when you're near work areas for the safety of crews and other drivers on the route. Signage will be placed ahead to indicate approaching roadway work. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.